Mike, turn your games down.
Hi everybody, welcome to episode 365 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who is just trying to catch up with that fellowship the whole damn game with me tonight?
Hey everyone, it's Joe Larrey here, back again to talk once more about Lord of the Rings, and I am looking forward to talking about this Temu fellowship we got going on here, so let's get to it.
A star shines on the hour of our meeting. It's Kyle from the RPG show.
My name's Casey. I'm also looking forward to talking more about Lord of the Rings.
And this is Adam, and I have been thinking about the Poor Man's Fellowship for the last few days now.
You're welcome. So we are here to talk, well, for as I like to do for all the 25 episodes, we always try to do an RPG, and I thought, hey, let's do that RPG that's been on my mind to do for over a decade that I've been sitting on this game. So we are here we sat down with Lord of the Rings, The Third Age, developed by EA Redwood Shores, published by EA Games, and came out in 2004, and died in 2004 because it's never been re-released, because licensing. Woohoo! So I always like to do our memories. So I have never played this before. I have bought in this game before on PS2 or something, or Xbox, but I never got around to it. I was like, I'm going to play that one day. And then one day just never came until about a week ago. That's my history. Joe.
Yeah, my history with this is, got this game as a birthday gift. I was just really excited for this. I was totally in Lord of the Rings hype at the time with the movies, and I started getting into JRPGs. I had recently played the PS1 Final Fantasy, so when I saw that it was like just combining Final Fantasy gameplay mechanics with Lord of the Rings, I was totally on board.
And Kyle.
So this is probably one of there were, 10 or 12 LOTR games that came out at the time, but this is one of the three I didn't play. I played all the action RPG ones, but not this, and I have no idea why. So when you said it was available, I'd always wanted to give it a try, and I signed up, and here I am.
Nice. Casey.
I dabbled with this game a bit as a kid. I was only 8, I think, when this game came out. So I was big into the movies and everything, but still before I got into any JRPGs, that wouldn't come till I was in high school. And I liked what I played in this game, but I never got very far because I wasn't good at strategy and stuff yet. So I just would use attack all the time, and I mostly stuck to the brawler games. But I always thought it was cool, the way it follows the movies and stuff.
And Adam.
Yeah, I was pretty deep into Lord of the Rings at the time when this came out. I had played some of the games, they were hit or miss. And this one kind of just went under the radar for me for a while, but I always liked turn-based RPGs. I ended up going over to a friend's house, and she was playing it, and I saw just little snippets of her fighting in Moria, and she kind of explained it to me. I was like, okay, I got to play this. So this ended up being one of my top games on the OG Xbox at the time.
Nice. So I did forget to say, my actual experience with the game, because I just remembered after I spoke, was X-Play told me this game wasn't that great. Good old X-Play. So I was like, oh, okay, X-Play said it wasn't good, and X-Play knew best, Oh, X-Play.
Yep.
That always count on them for JRPG recommendations.
Oh, I did not realize how racist and stupid they played into that hype until I watched an hour-long YouTube video talking about them. And I'm like, wow, were shit.
Aren't they the reason Japanese developers hate the term JRPG now?
They probably contributed to it a bit. That whole attitude at the time.
Yeah.
I'm completely blanking on that. Did they have a history with that or something?
Oh, yes. I did not know, but if you Google, X-Play, there's some YouTube videos that would go on and, talk about them. And, I forgot how racist and homophobic and everything they were, because they were just trying to cater towards a certain audience.
Yeah, look up their...
They played up the whole... Go ahead. I was just going to say, they played up the whole, it's weird because it's Japanese, and it's so... Just playing up a lot of it's weird and different anime and tropey and stuff.
Yeah, just look up their Beaten Kaitos review. That is
Yeah,
that's a weird road to take because there's even back then there were so many diehard fans of JRPGs,
and that's what their show originally was catering those fans, and they were all big about JRPGs, and then they went a different route when video games started to change and the show became X-Play. But there's a whole history that was really interesting. But it's just funny because that's where I heard of this game the first time and really only time was them, because this game had never really came into my radar. Kyle, I know you had mentioned before about the Two Towers games. I'm assuming is what you're referencing, and I remember playing those with Brad, actually, our mutual friend, and never touched this.
I mean, Fellowship, I'm sure you played that a lot too.
No, I never touched Fellowship.
Oh, fair. But yeah, like all those action RPGs were really good. They were really good, really in depth, like great hack and slash games at a time when, I mean, there were so many great hack and slash games as well.
Yeah, on PS2.
But yeah, this one always kind of flew under the radar. It's like a weird, almost like Final Fantasy X clone where you can like switch your party members in and out. Everybody gets experience at the same time. It's like pretty cool, honestly, but it's a little more, I don't know, it's even a hallway simulator like it's a good time, but
I wouldn't say almost a Final Fantasy X clone.
it's very much a Final Fantasy X clone. Yeah.
Besides the fear grid, yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Everything else is it's 10. Like the linear path, you get healed at save points, it's 10.
Yeah, pretty watered down version of it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, but for somebody like this game came out, I want to say it must have been right after all the movies were done. I mean, this is a great wrap-up piece if you were someone who really enjoyed the movies, and like here you can have the entire series, trilogy, I should say, all wrapped up in one. And that's really nice. As a guy who hasn't seen the movies in a while, I did stop watching the cutscenes after a while because I'm like, I'll just watch the movies. I don't need to keep see the movie again on my Steam Deck. I just want to play the game.
I guess I had assumed that this came out before at least Return of the King. I was trying to put the timeline together, but I remember at the end of this game, and maybe I'm jumping ahead here, but at the end of this game in Pelennor, things were off. Like the Witch King he didn't look right, he didn't sound right, and they took out direct lines from the movies. So I had assumed that this was at least recorded before Return of the King had released.
I was going to say it was 2003, and yes, they were working on this game before then, but I think there was like a delay. Something happened where it got pushed back, because it was supposed to come out with the third movie. And then I'm not sure if there was a development issue or what happened, but they pushed it back.
And it seemed like everything up to that point in the game was essentially just a pulled recording from the movies themselves up till Helm's Deep.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That's how it felt. Other than there are a few lines that are different where he's like, this is what they did. It's a little different than, they had him fill in a couple words.
Yeah, I think the problem with this is that they started working on this game before the last movie came out, but it was released after the movie did. But this was like 2002. It's not like today where you just flip things and like a week later you have an update and everything's kosher again. Like,
right.
Different time. They couldn't redo the last boss fight unless they would have wasted like 9 more months. And they had promised this game in 2003 that it was going to come out in like May 2004. I think that was the tie-in there.
Yeah, we didn't get it until November of 2004.
Yeah, but they had it at E3 that May, and they had to. They said they were going to bring it out at that E3 back when E3 was a big thing.
I remember.
Yeah, it's weird when you used to have demos by E3. Like that used to be a thing.
Not anymore.
Yeah, now you just shadow drop it whenever you feel like.
I don't like that though, to be honest. I mean, so like I'm mad at XPlay for turning me off of this game, or I'm mad at me for being dumb and listening to them all these years back then. Well, only back then. I stopped listening a long time ago. But like this game is very much Final Fantasy X Clone, we kind of mentioned, but it works very well for what it is. It is a good turn-based RPG. But it's also one that you cannot play by using attack all the time. You have to use the abilities, and you have to make peace with that very quickly, or you will not succeed in this game.
Yeah, it uses the old Final Fantasy II level up system style, which was really surprising. I forgot it had that when I started playing.
It does?
You have to use the abilities to level them up, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know that was like the... Oh, yeah, I know you get... Oh, yeah,
not attack and defend.
I was going to say,
all that shit, not the stats, but you do have to use... Yeah. The worst part, though, is like the item abilities, where you had to use like 700 of them to get the good items by the end of the game.
I never even did that once.
Yeah.
No, thank you. This was definitely a game that you were supposed to like have. This was supposed to be one of your 4 games back on the PS2, and you were just supposed to put like 900 hours into this thing, I think, to max everything out.
Which is kind of ridiculous. I beat this game in like 17 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a short game by any means, but it's not something you could dump hundreds of hours in.
Oh,
I mean,
you don't need
especially compared to like the Final Fantasy series, which would usually go up to like 30 to 50 hour ranges on. Yeah,
exactly.
And it felt like a way for the. It felt like a way for the for them to kind of pad that play time. Like, yeah, you can unlock these things, but you have to play it in so much. But there's only so much game there.
Hell, even random battles aren't everywhere. You have to go to certain areas for random battles. I mean, they're pretty good
right.
about it, but they're not everywhere.
And even the word random's a stretch because you got to, I mean, you can see the Palantir fill up or the Eye of Sauron fill up and like, that battle's about to come.
Yeah, so you are right. Random is probably not the correct word, but yes.
No, not so much. But they did give you the New Game Plus, so that was more where you could just like go back and just make your characters. Like you could do Final Fantasy X. You could literally max the sphere grid.
I didn't do any of that. I also had certain characters I really didn't like. So there were a couple people that were terribly weak. I also didn't take Joe. I think it was Joseph Vice in the chat. Because you had said to kind of raise each character on one stat, right?
Yes.
I did not do that. I could not do that. When the game gives me an option, I well-rounded everybody. That is not the way to play this game, by the way. I can tell you for a fact, because the game handed me my ass at times when it shouldn't. But hey, thankfully in my version, they never missed, by the way. Because if they missed, the turn didn't happen. We just rewinded time. Save states.
Oh,
So,
man, that's
there was
great.
no missing for me.
Jesus, they miss all the time for me.
Yeah. They
Holy
That's
hell.
why we rewinded a lot. Oh, sometimes you could, if you switch the ability will hit. But even if you like pick the same ability and because I would save state, then pick the ability and pick the enemy. Because I like to kind of see when the game decides. Sometimes the game will just decide that enemy cannot be hit no matter what you do. Period. You have to go attack someone else.
I've never had party members miss more attacks in an RPG that I've played. It's like
neither.
a 40% chance they're not hitting something.
And
they have those abilities where they let the character hit 3, 4, sometimes 5 times. And if they miss one time in that sequence of hits, it just stops the whole fucking turn.
Yep.
Oh, I hated that.
Yeah.
The missing was awful. Like I didn't mean to use save states, but when the missing became such a thing, I'm like, fuck this, I'm save stating because I can't afford to keep missing. Like, I don't have enough healing options.
I got shit to do.
That too.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not sitting here grinding, because there were some bad fights in this game that made me really question this game. Even though
a lot of
really
the fights where you had the guest characters could get a little questionable. Specifically,
the genuine fellowship characters. Or...
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
hey, some were really good, some were awful.
It was fun to fight with them, but it's like, damn, I'll either get this fight and like crush it and have no problem with the boss, or I'll lose in the first 3 turns.
Some were not as good as others, for sure. I mean, so I should say, for those that don't know, essentially the story of this game is you are a fake fellowship, and that's what we're going to be saying this whole episode, of people who look like they're people from the main cast that are following the fellowship on their quest. And then they run into people from the actual fellowship here and there throughout the legendary parts. So they make it work, and it actually seams together really well. Where they could have been there. They weren't, but they could have been there, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Is how I took it, and how the game wants you to take it. Like, God, what was the main character's, the fake Boromir? I forgot his name.
Barathor.
I forgot everybody's name for the record. I just realized I was thinking about this. I don't know what anybody's name in this game was now that like I beat it over a week ago. None of it stuck with me.
I remember my preferred party members' names, but the other 3, I don't. I have to look it up every time.
If that's not normally how I play RPGs. I usually know the names.
No.
I just realized that none of them stuck with me.
Do you want me to go through them?
Please do.
So yeah, Barathor's your main guy. Eardral is the elf. Elgost the ranger. Hadhod the dwarf. Morwen the Rohan woman warrior. And Aodin the Rohan guard, who has the 24-second spear twist if you kill somebody with him.
Did not like him at all. Except he has one of the best abilities in the game that is needed for his area, that you can beat it without using that spell. Really tough if you don't use the spell when the enemies have mirror damage on.
Yeah.
You
Screw mirror
can
damage.
do it, though. I did it, because I didn't
Mirror
know how to...
damage, by far the worst.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah. But MVP goes to Elgost with sleep arrows. That's like 80% of the game.
I never got those.
Oh, what?
What? How?
Why? You can sleep arrow everyone.
I didn't know it was a thing.
Like every encounter, you can sleep arrow everyone.
I didn't like him. He's weak.
Yikes. No, no.
I didn't use him enough. Like I
Mike
maxed
playing the game
out.
wrong.
Of course I did. This is not the first time you've heard this on Games My Mom Found, Kyle, nor will be the last.
It won't be.
So, no, I 100% played it wrong. And yeah, I had some of his abilities, but I never maxed out. I only maxed out fake Boromir and fake Arwen. Those both were maxed out. That was it. And fake Gimli was pretty, I think, maxed out too. I ended up liking them a lot.
Was that your main party?
Yeah. And I know you're gonna hear the word fake, and Lord of the Rings characters a lot. That's the way the game was to me. I just didn't really care for the Ranger. I mean, he's not bad. Like, I mean, you guys told me he has one of the best abilities. He just wasn't. That's not the way I play. And I mean, this game forced me to have to learn pretty quickly to use attack abilities all the time, because every time you level up, or if you die, you can just revive and get all your MP right back, which was really nice.
Yeah.
Not normal in RPGs, but okay.
And yeah, I am not the master of this game, so somebody step in if they're smarter than me on this. But I think the best thing about Elgos is that you just increase speed, because it's not a turn-based game. It's you get so many turns based on your speed. So he could go like 5 times before the next person would go, and that's how I used him.
That's exactly how you're supposed to use them.
I didn't do that, by the way.
Yep.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I
always check if your turn-based RPG is truly turn-based or if it's by speed, and then just go by speed if it is. More turns is more damage.
How I play. So I went into my certain ways. Like, I would level up all the stats. I tried for a little bit. I had all the stats at even. I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. I'm like, I'm playing this wrong. So I had to force myself to not do that. But a lot of times it's all based on, were they taking more damage than I like? Okay, let's raise all their defense up. And the way the stats are also a little confusing to figure out what's what. Speed is also their defense, too, for some reason. That's the stat that affects your defense, is speed. Dexterity is your accuracy and something else. I don't know. With the elf, I just did magic. All the spirit was her thing, and then she just killed with her spells.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how
Idriel is...
Yeah.
I don't know if these characters are any kind of canon, but I'm convinced that Idriel might be the most powerful Lord of the Rings character in existence, based on how you use it. It's insane what she can do. I mean, she can solo Sauron by the end of this game. I just let the other 2 characters die.
This fellowship should have been the one that got the ring. They're killing everything.
Just give it to Idriel, and she'll just walk in and do it herself.
Hey, and no dumb hobbits to slow them down. So, hey. There was one really funny moment in this game when you go to Moria and they have the key that whatever the hobbit knocks down in the movie is the one that they pick up in this game.
Mary.
I was like, I appreciate that that callback there.
Yeah.
Pippin.
Yeah.
You can hear Gandalf yelling at him one floor above you.
There were really cool moments. Like, they made
and that was kind of cool, being able to explore areas that weren't in the movies. I mean, throughout the whole movie, throughout the whole game, you're kind of like hot on the trail of the real fellowship, but you got to explore some areas, especially in Moria, that we never got to see in the films.
Yeah, I haven't played all of the Lego games, but this is probably one of the best Morias in Lord of the Rings games. Like, it's a back room area you don't really see in the other ones, and I really liked that in this.
I enjoyed the Moria stuff a lot. I was surprised how quickly they get to Moria, but I shouldn't be surprised because there really isn't a whole lot of like stuff to do in the first book or first movie. So it makes sense. You have to go to Moria. There's not a lot of action otherwise, where they could have been fighting.
They pick up their ranger and they pick up their dwarf, and that's about it. It's off to Moria.
I was kind of keeping track of how far I was in the game based on where I was in the movies. I'm sure I wasn't the only one.
Because in the beginning, in the very first opening scene of the game, isn't your fake Boromir? He's like off to, where's he going? He's looking for the real Boromir. He's like got set out to look for Boromir, but I can't remember where they said he was actually.
Was he going Rivendell? I think, because that's where
was it Rivendell?
That's where the council was. Yeah.
Okay.
And then like once you get into where Two Towers starts, I did click in one of the epic scenes that the game likes to call them. And there's just like a quick narration from Gandalf where he's like, yeah, so Boromir died. So anyways, you had to figure out a new goal to do because now you can't. And I was like, oh, right. He was supposed to. That was his whole goal. I forgot that he even knew who Boromir was because he brought it up once in the first cutscene. It didn't really matter after that.
That was his whole point of life, was to go tell Boromir or something.
And then he died somewhere else, and he's like, well, I guess I'm just going to keep going.
I don't think he even had a level in those woods either. They skipped those woods.
Yeah, kind of. It just kind of picks up, like they kind of fast forward into the start of Two Towers. And
they skipped more of those. They skipped the woods and they skipped Lothlorien entirely. You didn't end up going to Lothlorien in the game, did you? After Moria, you basically jump right into Two Towers.
Yeah.
They just show like some montage stuff from the end of Fellowship of like, I think there's like some shots of like Galadriel, Lothlorien, all that stuff. And then they're just like kind of push you off into the start of Two Towers with sort of, I think it seems like maybe about when they're trying to pick up like when, you know, we got the Fellowship breaks and Aragorn and Gimli and them go to try and find Merry and Pippin. kind of seems like around like you just get all the way to there right after you step out of Moria.
You do find Gandalf pretty quick, even though like you fight the Balrog with him, and then he's really not gone very long either, because you see him in like one of the next scenes right after that, after he fell, because they see Gandalf.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
The Fellowship did.
Yeah, you fight the Balrog, and then like in the next scene, he just there he is again.
Yeah, it was like this kind of takes away some of like the craziness to it when he's just there. Like, oh, you fell off the bridge? Well, good thing you're back now. Whew, that was a long 5 minutes. So, yeah, that weird to me. I don't know. Moria was really well done. I know you mentioned earlier, Kyle, you said you hadn't played all like the Lego game. I mean, Lego Lord of the Rings does it great, but other than that, I don't play Lego The Hobbit. I'll tell you that right now. So
No, that's fair. I mean, there's definitely good Morias, but like, I don't know. This one felt
It's
like
really
a
good.
Moria I hadn't experienced before, and it was nice.
They had the freedom to kind of do what they wanted and put things in, and they worked with it.
And it's a good setting too for kind of a very classic feeling, like JRPG dungeon crawl. It's just battles and gear, and it kind of naturally ascends up till like you start taking on trolls, and then you're fighting the Balrog. It's like a pretty well done dungeon.
Oh yeah, and this game did a good job with equipment drops too. Like you would get equipment from your enemies, obviously, you'd get them from chests, but it was always like, oh, this equipment is for this person, and you would see all the new stuff to equip. Like it was really nice about that. It's a very friendly JRPG.
You know what,
That
though?
was nice.
I kind of felt the equipment was like all over the place, though.
Yeah.
And like sometimes you would have stuff for chapters or like hours upon hours that just wouldn't be replaced for some reason. Like I don't know if I just missed stuff along the way or
I never went that long without changing out equipment. At least a different piece all the time. I felt like I was getting throughout the game.
Did you do the evil modes after
I
every
did not
chapter right
even
away?
touch them.
Those were so fun,
Those were
That's
great,
why.
yeah.
Yeah.
and they got you some of the best equipment in the game.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
so
was
you
it.
can.
Yep.
I
You
know
play as
Joe-
the
I
bad
think-
guys. Yeah.
Joe told me to do it. I didn't listen though.
I went back through like the Fellowship era battles or whatever and caught up through those, and I didn't go back like later for the rest of them, but they are like it's a fun mode.
Forgot about it, Ashley. Like I would remember it, but then I was like, I'll do it later. And then I beat the game, and I was like, I beat the game. I'm done.
And it didn't take that long. I think it just takes you through like just a small section, a few of the boss fights that you did on your way there. And I think you can do evil mode. I might be wrong on this, but I think you can do evil mode at the end of each chapter in the
Yeah,
main
That's
story.
when you unlock
Yeah.
it, yeah.
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 You do it from the main
You don't have to
menu.
beat the whole game for that.
No, you can. And I did not realize that you get equipment from there that carries over to the main game that makes you better. I did not know that was a thing, or I might have done it. I don't know. I also have a weird thing in games where I don't like being the bad guy. I mean, I don't mind if it's a game where you are the bad guy, Grand Theft Auto, for example, let's just say. But in a game where you're the good guys, but then you can play as the bad guys, I just have less of an interest in that. I don't know. I probably should have messed with it, but I kind of forgot about it, and I was very much like, I want to beat this game. And I just kept plugging at it. But not in a bad way. It wasn't like I didn't hate play this game. I actually really had a good time. I
I don't like games where you can be the bad guy, but you're way underpowered. Just like for story's sake, like the good guy is tends to be a little more underpowered than the bad guy, and this and that. But what was the Lord of the Rings RTS? Battle for Middle Earth was kind of a good example of that. The good factions were way overpowered compared to the evil factions. I could beat those games with the good factions on the hardest difficulty. The evil factions, I couldn't beat it on the easiest difficulty.
Oh, damn. Never played those, but I've always wanted to. Did anybody use the save point to teleport back to old areas? Like, was there ever a point to do that?
You can do it right away to farm your skills. In the first area, it's one of the only areas that has like super easy, quick, repeatable combat.
I did not even think about that. But okay, that makes sense.
I didn't keep too close of a tab on it, but I also think like it kind of does have like side quests and stuff for like open every chest or fight certain like camps of enemies. Most of them are kind of you just get them done by the main path, but I think there was maybe a few that I missed or didn't find, so I assume you can go back and clean up those things, but I never messed really with it, just kind of plugged straight ahead.
Same. It felt unnecessary. So, Joseph, as our local historian Tolkien guide, how much of this game is canon?
Absolutely none of it. So much so they don't even acknowledge it anymore.
But where are the people on the internet complaining how this isn't real? Oh, that's weird.
The stuff you see the real fellowship do, I guess, would be canon. But yeah, your own fellowship, like, those guys never existed.
That's fine, funny.
And since EA doesn't own the rights anymore, they're definitely not canon anymore.
Before I played this game, before I actually got my hands on it, I thought I knew it was a turn-based RPG. I thought it was the actual Fellowship that you played as. I didn't realize what this game was actually about.
That is a fair, because they look like the Fellowship. Like, if you were just to see this game, you would think it's the Fellowship.
Yeah.
It is playable, like almost self-insert fanfic of Lord of the Rings. It's like, hey, what if I was friends with Gandalf and also this elf was in love with me immediately, and also I got to hang out with Aragorn, and I was. It's fun, and it's a goofy little like tie into the movies and stuff. It's cute, I guess.
It's such a strange thing of the time too. I mean, I told my friend, like, you should play this. Because he likes RPGs a lot and he loves FF10, I'm like, play this. Like, it won't take you maybe 2 weeks or so, but it's worth your time, actually.
Do you want to know one of the cooler
I think it was you that mentioned. I think it was you that mentioned that these characters weren't mentioned in anything else other than this game. I'm looking it up. That Barithor was in Battle for Middle Earth 2. He was like a hero in that RTS. Yeah.
Wow. I'm surprised. I didn't think that that list would have been mentioned again. But Battle for Earth was was EA still when it was during their time when they had the right.
Yeah, they had a monopoly on Lord of the Rings games at this point.
Yeah, how'd that work out for them? There were some good games, but you don't have the rights anymore, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't their choice. Maybe it was, who knows?
There were some good games, but there was a lot of trash games too.
At that time, though, the Lord of the Rings games were pretty more hits than misses, I think. Like,
yeah, at that time, they didn't start really coming out with garbage until maybe a few years later. What was that Lord of the Rings Battlefront clone?
Oh,
Conquest.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that thing sucked.
Hey, that game is okay.
Hey, Battle of the North is legit great, though.
Yes.
I actually have, that War in the North, Battle in the North, whatever it was. That is also another Temu Fellowship who's off doing other important, because it's another, you have another ranger, another elf who's a mage, and another dwarf. But they're off in other places doing other
They're in the north.
stuff.
Yeah, they're hanging out with the dwarves.
They're fighting a necromancer that was never referenced in the main movies or anything. I do want to play that game. That game is unfortunately trapped to the 360, which I can emulate, so I don't know why I care as much. But yeah, but just like this game, neither of them are ever getting re-released. I can see happening.
I just find it funny around this time, since EA only had the rights to the movies, so you also had another developer doing another series of games based on the novels. I just find it interesting to see the differences between the two.
The fact that happened is also just so weird. The rights are so weird with Lord of the Rings.
Now
that's why I had thought
Embracer Group owns them now, so I don't know if that's good or bad.
I guess that's why I thought that maybe they went more off the novels for the Return of the King section in this game, because it was so unlike the movies in some parts, whereas the Fellowship and Towers parts were pretty spot on.
Yeah, the movie wasn't released when they started working on the final parts of this game.
Yeah.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they just kind of, if they were trying to go off movies, if they just had like test screening or script work stuff to just kind of like imagine maybe where they'll go with it, or maybe some like rough, production stuff, but nothing like final.
I mean,
They had to have some stuff.
I remember reading somewhere that they had the final boss fight done like 6 months before the movie came out. So
They had to have some stuff to work with, because I do remember in one section when Aragorn shows up with the Army of the Dead in Pelennor in the game, and you do that fight, you finish the battle, and he tells the main character in the game, I already forgot his name, he tells him, "You bow to no one," and it is the exact same way he says it in the movie. They pulled that line from the movie, so they got that part.
they actually use the same voice actors. That's what I was going to bring up earlier. This is the cool thing about the games at this time, is they use the same voice actors, and there's actual original lines in this game. Like, that's the coolest thing about this game.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
They have original lines from like everybody in it, and all the games of this time had all the voice. They had, Vigo, they had Ian, they had everybody
Orlando
else.
Bloom.
Orlando.
Yeah.
Like, everybody was in it. But this game too has that unique voice acting that you cannot get anymore. Like, that alone probably makes this game really expensive, honestly.
Yeah.
If you get a copy that's signed by one of the actors.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I bet that would be a couple $100, because you do not get voice acting from the actual movie characters anymore.
No,
No,
and that's one thing that EA did in a few Lord of the Rings games. They got the original voice actors.
And that kind of makes sense for the time too, because I remember back in the 2000s, like Elijah Wood was he was around for a lot of like game. Like I think I saw something recently. He like was at the Xbox 360 like unveil event as like the host and stuff. So he was kind of in and around games, and I think Vigo might have been too, but maybe I'm misremembering that.
I don't think Vigo was, but I don't.
Yeah.
I have no memory.
I remember there being like bonus features. I think in like the like hack and slash ones of like the cast like playing the games together, like talking about like very 2000s. Like we're gamers too. Like look at me like holding my controller and hamming it up.
Vigo is credited on this game.
Oh,
nice.
You know the most hilarious thing though about this game is that who is it? Aiden is, I believe, Mario.
Mario, what do you mean?
The guy who does Mario's voice is the Aiden voice actor.
Charles Martinet?
Yep, Charles Martinet is
I met
Aiden.
that man.
Yep, 100%. 100%.
Wow.
The voice acting in this game is on point. It's nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not what I expected, by the way. I was very confused when you said Mario. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very good in this game. Better than you expect from a...
Yeah, almost the voice acting alone like puts this on the shelf at this day and age.
I mean, for what it is, it's a very competent game, you know? The fact that, like, we talk about, you get over 100 different little clips they somehow fit on the PS2 DVD of the movie, which I'm sure are, like, hugely truncated, but you get little, like, it is cool. Like, it is a very cool thing. I was like, I'm just going to watch the movie later. I don't need to watch all these again.
Yeah.
But, like, for 2004, where you couldn't just go watch the movie, depending on your situation, like, or at the time this came out, maybe Return to King wouldn't even been, Return to King would already been on VHS or DVD or whatever it was at the time.
Like I was just on the Lego The Hobbit thing, and a thing we kind of talked about a lot with that one, with like it missing the third movie, is it kind of missed its chance to be this cool accompaniment to the trilogy. Yeah. And I feel like this game, maybe even a little bit more in some ways than Lego Lord of the Rings, because it's a bit more of like a serious kind of straightforward. Like it is like a really cool companion piece to that trilogy because it kind of weaves in and out of it, gives you some original stuff, all of the unlockable scenes where you can like, oh, that's like my favorite part of that movie or something, and watch all that. It's like a pretty cool tie-in little companion thing that you can like play when you're hyped up from watching all the movies and just want more Lord of the Rings.
I mean, I can't believe that I never played this back in high school because my friend Brad was hugely into Lord of the Rings at this time, but he didn't like RPGs because he thought they were stupid. I don't know if that's changed or not, Kyle. He might still think
it's
that
the
way.
Same. No,
okay.
Same still.
So I remember like he didn't play this game. He had Two Towers, he had Return to the King, but he had no interest in this. And so I had zero interest in this game. But like this would have been really fun at the time. And I feel like nobody really even talked about it either. Like I don't remember hearing people say, "Oh, hey, this game is really good" or anything. I just remember XPlay's bad review. That's all I remember about it.
I
to me, that's
introduced
really
it
a shame.
to quite a few people, and I only knew the one person that knew it before that. And yeah, it did fly under the radar for a lot of people. And even if they were into turn-based stuff.
Yeah, this never hit my radar, and I'm like trying to think. This is my senior year of high school, freshman year of college. Maybe I just didn't have the money at that time, but it just like didn't come across as a serious RPG in any way.
And I lived at EB Games back at this time. Like I was there. When I mean I lived there, I went there like twice, 3 times a week, not to buy anything, just to talk to the guys that worked there. Because I lived down the street from one that doesn't exist anymore. It made me sad when I was visiting my hometown. And like, I don't remember this game ever being talked about by people. I barely remember seeing this game on the shelf or anything. Like it was just not one of those games that existed. And it's just weird to me because it is a fine RPG. And it is a very cool, like we were saying, Lord of the Rings, you need a Lord of the Rings fix. This game is it. And sometimes you just want to like recoup a trilogy of movies and play it in a game. Like you just want that, and this is that. I mean, the missing bothered me a lot because the accuracy is way too low. Did you guys ever get that fixed by raising your dexterity a lot, or was it always bad?
It was always bad for me.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I kept pumping up dexterity. Like when I was in Moria and I had you fight so many goblins that I would bring Hadhod, the dwarf, out all the time because he had like a goblin boosted attack. That guy would miss like every other attack. And so like eventually I pumped in some I was not going to put dexterity on the dwarf. It just didn't seem like a stat he would need like in my head. But he kept missing, and I would dump some points into it, and he still missed constantly. I would use the buffs and stuff to try and like raise our accuracy and lower enemies. It kind of seems like it was helping, but it isn't. Like I said, never had party members miss this much in an RPG.
It seems like the developers knew that, but some of the later skills are like, you hit all the time with this attack. So it's just like, you couldn't just fix it out in the stat
They knew.
lines? Yeah.
It was a feature, Joe, not a bug.
And if it was released
This
today,
game
it
ran
would
on
be
like Megami
DLC.
Tensei rules, it would be impossible.
Yeah, but
So
I mean,
it seems like
Kyle,
the more you raise their accuracy, the more evasion the enemies got. I would get Hadhod to a point where he was hitting most of his hits, but then we would get to the next section and we're back to square one. He's missing all the time.
Do the enemies
If Marathor
level
would start
scale with
missing
you in
too.
this? I don't actually know that.
I don't think so. But I never felt super powerful. I never had that feeling of being a god in this game. I mean, yes, I could kill them, but I never felt like I just wiped the floor with them. It was usually the other way around, which I don't like in my games. I like in my RPGs where I want to feel like a god near the end, and I was never that way. Like, I beat this game, but it was kind of by the skin of my teeth near the end. And the fact that I just abused the system of, we'll just cast essentially what life 4 it would, or no, life 3 it would be considered in Final Fantasy terms, where you just, if you die you get resurrected. I just cast that on all my characters and just said, okay, that's nice. Kill me, you'll heal all my MP back up. So go right ahead. And that's how I beat this game.
And that's why I said Idriel is so incredibly powerful, because she has that Aura of the Valar that, she can cast that on herself when she dies. And if you can cast Double Spirit, which doesn't take a turn. It's like a bonus. And you can cast Aura of the Valar again. It's your turn immediately. All your HP MP's back. And then you cast what was the Loudwater Spirit, where she just hucks a water ball at enemies and then rinse and repeat. They'll kill you, cast it again, over and over again.
And then you get the Stallion spell later from her, and that thing just is death.
Once I realized that the game wanted me to use abilities, because I did not use the dwarf until after Moria, because I just didn't. I just like I get like this in RPGs. I have my team and I stick with them. Like, I know, Kyle, you had mentioned in the recording before the recording, we were talking how you would like switch out every turn so they all get experience, or not every turn, but every battle. Yeah, I never did that.
One action per battle. Final Fantasy X taught us the right way.
I never did it. Even near the end, I have a particular way that I play, which is not fitting for this game. I mean, it worked, but
did you party switch in Final Fantasy X?
Oh yeah, one action per character per combat.
Oh no, for sure. I was asking Mike because that's insane.
No, I don't.
That game seems
crazy, dude.
I am not. I like Final
beat
Fantasy
some of
a
the
lot. I'm not
bosses
a
in that
fan,
game.
but like,
I mean, it's been a long time, so I could be remembering wrong because I haven't played 10 in over 20 years. So when I cover it on the show, we'll find out. But I don't. I mean, I probably did sometimes, but not all the time. I don't. That's just not how I play. But then again, they don't get any experience. This one, they get some experience even if you don't use them, so it didn't matter as much to me.
50%, yeah.
So they still got.
But when you're getting 270,000 experience per combat, it starts to add up.
Yeah, okay. I also didn't know how to do it till later in the game, till after Moria, when I figured out how to switch out. Because I was playing this on a fake. Yeah, I didn't know how. I had to Google it because I was playing on a fake 3. I was playing the GameCube version. The PS2 version wouldn't run on my Steam Deck for some reason. It just would never get past the loading screen. So I was playing the GameCube version, and the GameCube version, it took me a bit to figure out what the buttons are because they don't do very well when they connect to a Steam Deck. They get weird. So I had to look up what to press. But yeah, I didn't know how to switch my characters for a little bit. I think it was after Moria because I remember, no, it was in Moria because there was that battle with the squid where I didn't know how to switch out a character or something. There was some battle where I remember having to wait for only one person to do something and did not have the ranger, and I was upset. So I had to use the elf. And I'm like, well, I just would have had the ranger. He could hit too. So yeah, I played it wrong. Not the first time. Not the last time. But hey, I beat this game.
To be real, that seems like a rough way to go through these fights, man.
You should go back to Mike's other episodes.
Yeah. I am really good at teaching people how to get through games no matter what. I'm the personification of that. How can you get through it without doing what the game wants you to do? You just ram your head against it and use save states and you will get through it. I guarantee it. Remember those dumb commercials? Wasn't it the suit guy used to say, I guarantee it. This is old.
You'll like what you buy.
Yes, thank you. I just remember the guy in the suit with a beard, glasses, and white hair and whitest brown hair saying it. It's been a long time since I've seen commercials like that on TV. I don't watch TV like that, or probably no one really does anymore, unless you're old. I feel like that wasn't a weird conversation. The hardest part in this game, though, like, is definitely the Rohan stuff, is a town. For some reason, that little town is the hardest part of the entire game, and I don't know why.
Well, you've only got the one save point, which refills your HPM. I'm going to keep saying HPMP because I'm
It's
just
fine.
so used to it at this
That's
point.
what it is. Who cares what
It's
they
only
say?
the one save point that refills it, and you have to go up so many different paths in Edoras. Yeah, it's in Edoras, isn't it? Yeah, it has to be. Because there's like all those gates you have to unlock, and they're all
Yes.
the switches seem like they're on the opposite end of the whole fucking town, and you just kind of have to run that gauntlet every time, and you can't get back to that save point without getting into even more fights. If at least for me, that's what made it so hard.
There were other save points, too. My other issue with that part is I didn't know about the dispel skill, so that made the game harder, too.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could dispel the enemies with their shield.
Yeah, the mirror. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that really fucking hurt, because
I just pounded through it the way you did for a couple of fights, too.
I didn't. I looked it
Because
up like...
you can't die.
later.
You can't die from that.
No, but they
You can only go down to
next
one
turn.
health. Yeah.
You will
And that's
die.
every type of damage, magic, physical, everything.
It's dumb.
That's what threw me off. I guess I just figured it was going to be like Reflect in Final Fantasy terms. So,
Yeah.
okay, my physical attacks will be fine. Nope. Barathor got down to 1 hit point after he did his little massive 3-swing attack. And I was like, well, shit, what do I do for here? Like, all right, I'm just going to keep powering through it.
It was kind of weird like that. I mean, and it doesn't really say anything. Like, I didn't even know that the new character has Dispel. Maybe they thought that you would look what the game expected me to do, I guess. But I didn't like him. He was just weak and he was stupid. I wanted my fake fellowship. I was like, there was no Rohan rider in the fellowship. So
It's
why not
almost
get
like
one of my
they
fake
wanted you-
fellowship?
It's like they wanted you to use the Rohan character in Rohan.
Who would have guessed? I didn't
So
like
weird.
that idea. I didn't like either Rohan.
Amer
Wait,
just
no.
standing here in shambles. No Rohan
Am I a joke
character.
to you?
Yeah.
The girl, she wasn't Rohan, right? The girl that you rescued?
She was-
No,
yeah.
she's from Gondor. That
Oh
looks
okay.
like
no,
Rohan.
no,
The black
she's no
lady?
Morwen's Rohan. Yeah, Morwen
she's-
is a warrior of Rohan.
No, but
Oh,
she
but
was
she said something
married.
about
She's
Gondor.
married to the main character.
Originally, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was his ex-wife?
Yeah. Did no one else catch that?
No. I thought it
Yeah,
was
but-
like he just liked her because he met her on this trip.
No. It's right at the end when they're in the city, right in the final area, right before all the battles, and then they find out they dropped that piece of lore. I was like, wait, can we back up and go to that, please? Because we haven't really talked about the plot, because I know we've talked about like it's just following the Fellowship, but who's the main character game?
Barathor.
Not Boromir.
Fake Boromir. That's his
Fake
name.
Boromir, yeah. He has this whole subplot where he was brainwashed by Sauron to intercept the Fellowship and steal the ring. That's a whole.
Oh, I did not catch that.
That is a whole subplot, yeah. And
Yeah.
apparently,
I stopped reading.
And the part that makes it even weirder is like everybody knows it except him. That he's
Yep.
brainwashed.
Okay,
Well,
so I
and they
remember
didn't
bits
drop
and
the stuff
pieces
until the very end.
Yeah.
where they were like, you shouldn't feel bad for this, and I'm like, feel bad for what? Did you let down Boromir? I guess I just missed some. I was trying to read. I think at a certain point I just stopped. I thought it was just a movie plot, so I didn't. I'm like, I know the plot. I've seen the movies more than once.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a whole subplot with him, and then he got stabbed by a Nazgul.
Oh, yeah, ring wraith.
Yeah, then he has the
Yeah.
blade in him.
Yeah,
And you gotta
I
get
caught
it
that.
out.
Yeah, there's that scene where he pulls it out to fight the guy. Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that kill you though? Like, because Frodo almost dies from getting touched by the ring wraith blade.
Yes,
Almost.
it affects you. Yeah.
Almost.
So if it stays in you that long, how is he fine?
The whole thing is Nazgul blades are really not that lethal, apparently.
Okay.
0 for
It's
2.
called plot armor, Mike.
Yeah.
Plot
Ah,
armor.
fair. Frodo didn't have that as well.
Yeah, my OC in Lord of the Rings, he's actually too strong for Nazgul blades.
Yeah.
So,
Nazgul blades are like aluminum.
you just get a tetanus shot. It's really not a big deal.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense now with the story. Thank you, Joe. Because yeah, I was gonna watch a video about this, but then I didn't, and then we recorded. I was like, oh yeah, I never did that.
So, Mike, you missed the whole love triangle with, fake Arwen and fake Boromir and.
I caught that.
Okay.
But I didn't realize that it was his ex-wife, and that any of that. I just thought he just liked both of them because
I thought they were just betrothed, not married.
Weren't they married?
I mean, betrothed, married were the kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
because
because she's betrothed and then she was banished to Rohan.
Why was she
because-
banished for?
Because didn't her parents do something with
yeah, something with her. Yeah.
Yeah, something with the king. Her parents worked for him, something like that. I can't remember
King is
it offhand.
a piece
honestly,
of shit, so that's okay. He's in this game, right? Like for like one scene where you.
Yeah, it's the greatest scene in this whole game where he just goes running on fire. Oh, there's Denethor, and then they just
jumps up.
Yeah, and they just proceed like nothing happened. Yeah.
I've only seen Return of the King all the way through, like maybe once. That's the movie I've seen the least. I've seen Fellowship and Two Towers many, many more times, so I don't really remember Return of the King at all. Nor do I like Return of the King much.
That's odd, because that's usually the opposite for most fans that I know. They loved Return of the King.
Although I can understand it because it is like a 4-hour movie. So,
yeah.
The older I get, the more I respect that opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, did you ever watch the animated Return of the King, though, Kyle? That's a movie.
It's been a really, really long time.
Thank you, Joe.
I like the Hobbit one a lot better.
Well, the Hobbit one is actually a good movie.
No,
the
it's
Return
fantastic,
of the King movie is a garbage pile of shit.
They've got some funky songs in that one too, though, don't they?
Oh
Joe?
Yeah, they got songs in all of them. Yeah, you got classics like "If There's a Whip, There's a Way." That's an instant classic.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but the animated
again.
Hobbit's got some banger.
Actually got good songs, yes.
Yeah, they got good songs. Yeah,
that's the level I'm talking about.
The Return of the King movie is what if Hobbit happened and Return of the King happened? Fuck that Fellowship. Fuck that Two Towers. We're just talking about the Hobbit and Return of the King. And I'm not joking.
Or you could just watch The War of the Rohirrim, the good one.
Which I don't know if will be out by the time you hear this. But it's coming soon if you haven't. If it's not, I'm not sure because I don't have the calendar in front of me. I can't remember. But I do like that they worked in, like we talked about the Balrog fight. The Helm's Deep stuff is actually really fucking good, I felt. Mm-hmm. After Rohim, whatever the fuck it is, I was a little upset. And then when I got to Helm's Deep and you get a section with Legolas, a section with Gimli, a section with Aragorn, I was like, this is awesome. I thought it was really well done, what they did for Helm's Deep. Like, they made it feel like you were part of the Fellowship and in the movie.
Well, that was another one of those sections, just like Moria, where they let you kind of explore the whole area and kind of see what was under the hood, so to speak.
But there was no tunnel that led outside from the king's bedroom. I was a little let down by that. So
it was nice, but I kind of wish they would have tone that area down a little bit because it took me like 30 minutes on ×2 speed to talk to everybody to get to that fight at the start of that chapter.
Oh yeah, that section where you had to talk to just the Fellowship members, yes, and you don't know what level that fucking dot is on.
Not very good.
I swear to Christ, if I have to go outside and find Legolas one more time, I'm gonna lose my shit. But like,
hearing you say that, by the way, the way I played this game is I had a PS2 that I set up with like a magic memory card, whatever. So it's just booting games off SD, which is neat because I did then play it off a PS2 using the PS2 version and everything. But God, I would have killed for a speed up button in this game. I try not to be so like impatient. Like I love turn-based RPGs and stuff, but I try not to be like, well, this needs a turbo mode. But man, I really wish this game had a turbo mode, especially using some of those like the Ranger double attack where you just got to watch the same slow animation multiple times. Like, and
but not even in the battles,
really
even when you're walking around the field, when you're just walking around the field, not actively in battle, it's like, I know where I have to go. I see my objective. It's right over there, but holy shit, I got to hoof it all that way. This guy runs so slow.
Yeah, it is a turn-based RPG from the PS2 in a lot of good ways and some of the bad ways that I feel like they got better about. Just long ass attack animations.
Yeah, literally. If Aodin kills someone, the spear user with his spear, it takes 6 seconds for his animation of just twirling his spear above his head with the sound effects.
Why do I feel like you counted this?
Because it's per fight. Like it's not.
But you see, if you don't use him, you don't have to deal with it.
But he attacks for 16k 3 times per turn.
Yes, and he can bypass armor, which is a big deal.
Yeah, but he's stupid, so you just don't use him.
No, he does he and Barathor like clean sweep this game.
So how did you do like on the section where they forced you to use him? There was one or two sections where they forced you to use your off party members that you didn't main that much.
I was upset.
How'd that work out for you?
I was upset. I mean, luckily I had been using more and more characters, and I got through it, but I was not happy. But also it helps when they can't miss because you just save state and load. That does help, by the way, a lot.
Damn save
That's how I had to. I don't like doing that in RPGs usually, but I had no choice in this game. Like, I had to do it because it was terrible and I was struggling at times. So I had to cheat. I do what I have to do.
No, it's completely out of jealousy because the way I always played it, I didn't have the option of save states, and now I want them.
Mm-hmm.
And turbo.
Yeah.
Hey, this was nice on the Steam Deck, actually. Also didn't eat the battery either, so that was nice too.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I never used turbo though. I even, you're right, it is slow, but it didn't bother me, which is a weird thing for me to say because I'm very much a speed person in games, but I didn't have a problem with it.
I think I've got a bad habit now with RPGs where even like faster paced ones like SMT or stuff like that, I will still, after a couple minutes, like I'll go through like 2 fights on normal speed, like, these are nice animations. It's turbo from then on out. I'm clicking through animations, I'm skipping victory screens, I'm getting through that.
Well, you don't need it.
If I'm emulating times 2 speed every JRPG.
Yeah, I finally have a PC now, and I've been playing some Dragon Quest VIII on my PS2, and it's so good, but I am turboing that shit up also. It's not like even that slow moving of a game. It's just I've seen these animations a couple of times now. I'd like them to go a lot faster. Just tell me the numbers that are happening.
Are you sure you only want to see 5 of your 6 boomerang hits attack? Like go through every time?
Just every time.
So you want to see every one.
Hilariously enough, when we were talking earlier why people didn't find this game, I was going to say Dragon Quest VIII was the same year. That's probably why I didn't play this game.
I was wondering if that was part of it too, it was just such a big JRPG era, and like it's a year past Lord of the Rings, so maybe some of that hype for the new RPG is down. There's no shortage of options for all-timer.
Yeah. PS3 was on the horizon too.
Yeah, probably people were just like,
360
licensed RPG. Like,
5.
Final Fantasy 12 was like a year or 2 away.
So that's one of my big regrets. I bought that game the day it came out. Still have yet to actually beat it. So
12?
Yeah.
Still the only one I haven't beaten.
I need to remedy it someday.
Never beat it.
It's a polarizing one.
I didn't care for it.
I love 12. I think it's my like second favorite, maybe. I really liked that one.
It's super fun, but I followed a walkthrough that wanted me to beat all of the hunt bosses before I did the story.
Oh, fuck that.
I fucked up. I gotta restart it. I gotta restart it. Yeah.
That is also a game, though, that is unplayable without a turbo mode. It is so goddamn slow on the PS2.
When I played it, it was right after Final Fantasy XI, so it was also hard. I just kept seeing Final Fantasy XI in it, and then I went back to Final Fantasy XI too. I got the needle back in.
It's very MMO influence for sure. Yeah.
So
I
will.
Key though, so well done.
Someday it's on my list to go back to.
Can't you miss the ultimate weapon like in one of the first areas if you open the wrong chest or something?
I remember reading that. Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Someone thought that was a good idea. There's like 3 chests in the game you can't open.
You could also try to beat the game in 5 hours to get the best weapon, like 9.
Jesus, what? I tried to do that. That was terrible.
Yeah, 9 you had to beat it in 12 hours to get Excalibur 2.
Yeah,
I think maybe, I don't know, but
this is ridiculous.
Either impossible. I mean, it's not impossible, but I'm not fucking doing it.
Not fun.
It's not worth it.
Back in the day, I had that Final Fantasy IX strategy guide where if you wanted any information, you had to go to that separate website they had for it.
PlayOnline.com.
Yeah, God, I hate that.
I had that fake guide too.
Yeah, God, I hated that thing.
That thing was not a guide. That thing was just an advertisement.
Yeah. Although, did you see they actually republished that recently?
Did they fix it?
No, it's the same thing that left everything.
Yeah, that kind of owns actually.
That is
that stupid book out there.
I mean, at least in today's world, I mean, like we live in the internet, but I remember back then I didn't have the internet, so I had to go to my mom's work and I would use one of her work computers and look up stuff for that guide. And I was like, I have a guide. Why am I on the internet?
Oh man, I used to have to buy like sheets of paper, like reams, and just print out the guides myself. That's how I beat the Suikoden game. So I would check off every guy one by one as I
that's rad.
collected them.
I printed out some stuff too.
I always want to do that. Like I was looking at the first Fallout, and you can open like the manual on Steam, and it's like 100 pages long. And I always want to like print that out and put it like in a binder or something. There's no reason to do that. But
you burn it. You burn anything related to the first Fallout game. Just write it on fire. Fuck that game. 6th game on this show, I want to say, and I still, after all these years, fuck that game. Still despise it. So I'm not bitter. No, never.
No.
I don't hold on to bad games that upset me years ago. No, never. But this game didn't upset me. Actually, I was never irritated with this game. The whole playthrough, I was just having a really good time, which was nice.
Yeah, I think it's got a good pace to it. Like we were talking about equipment earlier and stuff, but I felt like I never went too long without getting like some new gear or unlocking a new skill or just kind of like building out my characters a bit to where different strategies are coming together. We're taking out enemies faster and stuff. Like it progressed well, I think.
And the boss fights I also felt were good too. Like with Helm's Deep, I don't remember who you fight at the end. You fight a bunch of trolls, but they did work in, like we mentioned, the Balrog, and they worked in the ring race near the end of the game. They worked in the Mouth of Sauron.
Witch King.
Oh yeah, because there's 2 different people.
Yeah,
which doesn't.
You ended up fighting all 9 ring wraiths.
Yeah,
ended up killing all 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, this group literally wrecked house more than anyone else by far.
Joe, maybe you can explain this to me. What is the difference between the Mouth of Sauron and the Witch King?
So I'm trying to think here. But no, you're fine. So the Witch King in the mouth, right?
Yes.
So the Witch King is the leader of the Nazgul and was once a former wielder of one of the rings of man that was corrupted. The voice or mouth of Sauron they never really explain what he is. He's just kind of a follower of Sauron that is like his spokesperson, I guess.
Yeah,
okay, so he's not one of the ring wraiths?
He literally...
No, he's not one of the ring wraiths.
Yeah, he's
I always
in
imagined
the Return of the King extended edition.
Yeah.
I always imagined if he were like, say, if Saruman had worked out and didn't lose, if he had been like fully enveloped by Sauron, like that's kind of what the mouth of Sauron reminded me of, because even the books, I think, or maybe one of the side books mentions that because Saruman couldn't be trusted, that Isengard was going to go to the mouth of Sauron. Like he was going to become the ruler of that.
I just put the picture in the chat.
Yeah,
because I wasn't sure with that. I never really understand so he's not in the original movies then?
No, in the theatrical version, he is cut. They cut that whole scene out.
Okay, that's why I didn't recognize him when he randomly pops up in the animated Return of the King movie then, where he's a normal guy.
Yeah, which sucks because that was an awesome scene.
Yeah, I think it's because they chop off his head, and I think they were like, that was going to get them an R rating or something. There was something.
Yeah, maybe.
With the rating.
But it was all, I mean, he talked some shit, and Aragorn wasn't having it, and he just lopped his head off.
I need to watch the extended version someday.
Oh, they're so good.
They were good, but they're long.
Yeah, that's why I've never seen them. They actually all were in theaters. I was like, oh, we should go see it. I told my wife, I'm like, wait, they're 4 hours long each. I'm like, nope, we're good. I'm staying home. We'll watch it at home someday. I ain't going.
You can find a couple places that'll do like a whole dinner thing with that for a 12 hour. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I used to do that for New Year's every year. Just load up all the extended versions and watch them back to back.
Unless I can bring my laptop into the theater and edit while I'm sitting there for 12 hours, I'm not interested.
Bring the Steam Deck.
That too. I would need that also. And a charging port. And a table with food and drink brought to me. I'd be okay then. But no, otherwise, not interested. Too fucking long. But yeah, that's why I didn't go see him. I was going to go see Fellowship at least, because I really like Fellowship. That's probably my favorite of the 3 movies, which is probably not people's usual opinion, I'm assuming.
From what I usually hear, everyone's least favorite seems to be Towers.
Yeah,
it's not like they dislike it. It's just that a lot of people seem to think that's the weakest one in the trilogy.
Yeah, it's also the one that deviated the most from the books. The other 2 are kind of follow it, but that one really deviates, especially with some of the characters like Faramir.
And which is weird because Helm's Deep was like my favorite fight. It was my favorite battle in the whole trilogy.
It probably is, but it's the whole movie.
Everything.
Well, it's the whole point of watching the movie. There's 2.5 hours of other
getting to that part.
But Two Towers does have the Ents, and I love the Ents, so I'm totally on board for that.
I mean, they're all like 10 out of 10 movies. It's just like Two Towers is like maybe just a little less perfect than Fellowship and Return.
Yeah, all 3 movies they have those scenes that I can still watch 20 some years later and still get chills. Like each one of the movies has at least one of those scenes.
100%.
And do you want to talk about a little bit, like, when you get to, after, we talked about how you kill Mouth of Sauron, you kill the Witch King, so they do everything that the movies did, but then you also get to finish off and you fight the giant Eye of Sauron as the final boss, which I didn't expect. I thought I beat the game, and then the game's like, and then it gave me another thing to do, and I was like, I didn't see that coming, because the guy kind of told me that I was done. The guy didn't tell me you had to fight the Eye of Sauron.
it threw you right into it. You finish Minas Tirith, and suddenly you're fighting Sauron. That was the only time in this game I found myself going, "What the fuck is happening?"
Yeah, there was clearly a cutscene that did not get finished in time.
I didn't understand, because they didn't fight the Eye of Sauron in the movie, because the ring just gets destroyed and that's the end of Sauron.
No, they did not climb the tower and fight the fiery eyeball. I don't know, how did they get up there?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, you just all of a sudden were just there, right? Like you're just at the eye.
Yeah. You're just at the top of Barad-dûr fighting the fiery eyeball. It made no sense.
The Eagles.
They came after.
It's always the Eagles. Everybody goes to the Eagles.
Okay, so it wasn't just me that had no fucking idea what happened. Good. I was like, wait, why am I fighting the eye all of a sudden? Did I miss something?
No, it was again just like they didn't get the final movie, and because EA could only make games based off what the movies were, they were just kind of like, question mark, what do we do?
I guess this one at least has a fight against Sauron, unlike other Lord of the Rings games that hyped up that fight and didn't deliver.
Which one?
Shadow. It's a QTE, remember?
Yeah.
But not really, actually. We played it, I know. I don't remember. I did not like that game, though, if I remember correctly. I was not happy. At some point, I need to play Shadow of War so I can see Shelob as not a spider for some reason. Hey, there's no Shelob in this game, by the way. They took all that out.
That's a Hobbit thing. Anything Hobbit related is cut. Yeah.
Oh yeah, good point.
And this group, the Timu Fellowship, I don't think they interacted with any of the hobbits at any point. They were heard off screen, but they never actually. They just didn't want to program in the hobbits.
Yeah.
Or maybe they thought a hobbit wouldn't be have a hobbit on your team wouldn't be cool.
Hobbit would have made a good thief, but they had the other person.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been.
Morwen probably could have been a hobbit.
But then
you would need like another female character somewhere in there if you're trying to make that work, I guess. I don't know.
Gotta have a love triangle for a game in the 2000s.
Oh my God, I would have loved to see a love triangle with a human, an elf, and a hobbit.
It would have been pretty
How about an elf
cool,
and a dwarf?
Yeah.
Don't you want to see a movie about an elf and a dwarf?
No, dwarves
I can
don't
watch the
do
Hobbit
mixed
for that.
stuff. That doesn't happen.
Okay, so it makes sense why that final fight just felt like it didn't belong there for me too. So thank you guys.
Yeah. And the ending too. Even after the final fight, you got a quick little cut scene that just doesn't really explain anything. It's just,
it kind of beats a sequel almost.
But how?
It's telling you that journey's done, but yours still has a legend to tell. And I'm like, wait, is there were they planning a sequel to this?
But how would you make a sequel to this when your game is based off the 3 movies that ended?
I kind of felt that it was just like, if you want the resolution, go watch Return of the King. We finished this stuff over there.
Watch the goddamn movie.
Because it shows Frodo and Sam are like, there's other stories happening here. Like, if you want the resolution, those guys went and actually finished it. I know in our story you tactical nuke Sauron himself, but there was other stuff happening.
I'm glad
I just assumed that when the tower tipped over and blew up, they were all on it and they all died.
Yeah, how did they get out of the tower?
The Eagles.
It's always the Eagles right there.
Yeah, yes.
Have we considered teleportation magic?
They're probably powerful enough for it.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to.
Their HP is just high enough.
The elf revived them after they died.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we got leaves. We got a couple of leaves chilling, full HP.
Did anybody do the item crafting stuff? I know we talked about it briefly.
I tried a little bit with it at the beginning, but I gave up.
You have to do 250 uses of the second item to get to the further ones, and they might go lower after that because some of the other abilities had higher ones before, lower ones later on. But yeah, it was you had to do 50 just to get the first item, then 200 some for the second. It's when, why?
And that's only during battle, right? That you can craft.
You have to use that ability literally that many times. The only character who can get more than one per turn is Morwen, who can steal a second one.
And when you can make you can craft the elf stones, which are accessories out of battle, but no, as far as item crafting goes, that's in battle only. And if you want to prolong the fights, you can do it. I guess It feels like they were trying to cater to as many different playstyles as possible, but some of them were way overcomplicated, while other ones were godlike and very easy to learn. So most people just stuck with those easy ones.
Okay. I never messed with it. I just did heal through, like, I did use some items. There were a couple points where I had to, like, really dive deep into my item collection. Oh, there's also no item shop in this game either, but it wasn't
because
terrible.
you're supposed to make the items.
Yeah.
But here's the other one too.
Yeah,
like,
there's no hub at all of any kind.
There's a light and dark magic that you also have to use a certain amount of times just to unlock any of the abilities. And I think you can transfer the item between characters at least, but it is like you have to use 150 odd light magic uses to get to the fourth spell even.
I never even did that at all.
I bet. Like that's it.
I don't think I even found it. I don't know what you're referencing. So.
It's an accessory.
Oh, that's probably why I didn't find it then.
Yep. So is the item crafting. It's an accessory.
Okay. I saw the menu like once or twice, but I just didn't care about it. So I was like, whatever. Then I just moved on. Then later on, it became just revive. That was my way of heal. I stopped healing. I just put auto revive on them. Like, oh, they'll get healed anyway. I don't need to worry about it anymore. But it makes you want to watch this movie. I mean, again, it probably hurt this game, like we said before, that it didn't come out at the same time as the end of Return of the King. It would have had more people interested.
Yeah, the other big one that I'm finding too, between the legal of who could do it. So EA could not use anything in the novels not specifically mentioned or depicted in the films. So because the third film had not come out yet, they were kind of tied to that legal aspect, I suppose.
So like if it would have been in the script but then deleted, then it wouldn't be in the movie, therefore it couldn't be in the game.
Yep.
Type of thing, I bet.
Yep.
Didn't they piss off the Tolkien estate too, and that's what's part of the whole problem with this?
Oh, everyone's pissed off the Tolkien estate at one point or another.
Yeah.
Take a number.
Yeah.
Fair.
One thing that surprised me, I actually looked this game up on Metacritic, and I was pretty shocked to see it sitting at an 8.5 user score.
Mm-hmm. Oh, even IGN at the time was 8.5.
Yeah. I knew I liked it, but I just assumed people hated it because nobody talked about it.
Yeah, same. I was surprised. Like, when we go to comments here soon, the amount of people that had positive things to say surprised me. I'm like, people know about this game?
Xbox gave it a 6.8 out of 10 in their magazine.
That's low. But
PlayStation magazine gave it a 2 out of 5.
Oh,
what the fuck?
Right?
This is not a 2 out of 5 game. I played 2 out of 5 games. This
Everything
is not
else
one of
is
them.
like 7 or 8. Yeah.
Fine.
Are you sure you're not looking at the Game Boy Advance version? Because that is a thing, and it's not at all the same game.
Oh, no, I'm on the Wikipedia. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what
that is a turn-based
That's different. Oh.
game. RPG. Turn-based tactics RPG.
Yeah, that copy's Final Fantasy Tactics instead of 10.
Yes. I really want to play it one day. Really want to play it. It's always been on my list once I found out it existed, because I didn't know it was a thing until many years later.
When I first heard that you were doing Lord of the Rings: The Third Age as an episode, I signed up for it, and I went, oh, fuck, I hope he wasn't talking about the GBA version.
No, I thought I do want to do that, but that would be a mini if I do it ever.
Same
but yes,
thought.
I do want to, because that game interests me too. I have Lord of the Rings, I'm noticing too. And so I've been in the kind of Lord of the Rings mood lately. Right,
Playing has definitely got me back in like a Lord of the Rings mood. Like it
does.
You know, seeing those clips and stuff again, I was like, it's probably getting time to rewatch some of these.
Don't do what I did last time. I watched it on YouTube out of clips because there wasn't streaming anywhere at the time.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Somebody put the entire movie on YouTube in clips, by the way.
You want to know what I did?
Oh,
I got
last time.
I'm just gonna make it easier on myself.
The last time I watched it, I realized I was missing one disc from my extended version, so I rebought that movie extended version. That's where I'm at.
I think they're on Max currently, for now.
Currently, yes, they are.
Yeah, they are now.
You never know how long anything's going to stay on Max, even though they own it.
Is it the extended versions on Max?
I
Yeah,
thought
I
they
think
were both.
are.
Okay. Yeah, if you have not seen the extended versions, do yourself a favor and
Never have.
watch them.
Awesome.
They are so good. They
Yeah.
I mean, they don't there's no big grand reveals that weren't in the movies, but it just opens everything up and kind of gives you more of a backstory to everything else. Even like minor conversations where they're just kind of shooting the shit about nothing. There's actually things like that open up different parts of the world that you never would have even thought of. One of my favorites is when they're talking about women dwarves, and Gimli says people think there are no women dwarves, and dwarves just spring out of holes in the ground. And then somebody looks back at Aragorn and he goes, "It's the beards." He said, "They think there are no women dwarves. It's because of the beards." Wow, I never thought, but now I really want to see what that looks like.
So that's where that line is from. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
They have them in the
I've heard that line before.
But they'll, there's what was that? And there was a scene right after that where the girl from Rohan, I forget her name, but they like it's just a scene about how much of a shitty cook she is. Like she feeds Aragorn a bowl of stew, and he cannot stomach this stew. He has to spit it out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A1.
Oh, thank you. Now I understood
after
a
a while-
meme that I've seen before on the Lord of the Rings groups I'm part of. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And after a while, you can't go back to the original versions. You forget what wasn't in the originals, and if you go back to them, you go, "Where the fuck was?" Oh, that's right, because I'm watching the theatrical.
I did not realize they cut. Yeah, I've never seen them. I might. Yeah, once I finish my Bond series run through, or when Netflix decides they're gone, which will probably be. I'm assuming they're going to leave in April, end of April. I'll have to. Maybe I'll have to sit down and watch those then. I'm on a Bond kick right now while it's on Netflix. So if you're listening to this, it's still on Netflix. Go check it out. You probably have another month or so before it gets taken off.
Fair.
They only get them for like 3 months. When they get them like once a year, every couple of years. But and this time they have the complete series, but it won't last.
Yeah.
So I just finished A View to a Kill, so I'm about to start the Timothy Dalton movies now. So I'm getting there. I'm making my way through. Wait, anything else to say about the Third Age before we go to questions, comments, or memories?
Just want to make a comment that it's a small feature, but it's one I wish more RPGs did, that when you actually put on equipment, it actually shows the character. I just thought that was just a really neat feature.
It is.
Yeah, I love anything. Like, a lot of games will like maybe change the weapon, but I love getting like new armor and
Same.
like all the different gear and stuff. Like when I was running around, I usually played as the Ranger. And I just like playing as him because he always had like cool cloaks and stuff on. And just it always looked good. And yeah, I love anything that changes up the actual armor when you get new gear.
I did too.
But on the flip side of that, it sucks when you get something that is a much higher level but looks like shit, and you don't want to wear it because it doesn't look right.
It wasn't too bad in this game.
No, in this game they kind of made everything look pretty decent.
Yeah, there was no complaints from me ever. I was never went to like, oh, yep, this upset me. Nothing like that with the equipment. But I've also never really been that. But yeah, it was a nice touch that this game had that, because not every game did this time. I remember when Summoner does it in PS2, I was like, wow. The first time I played that game. I actually beat that game back in the day. That's not an easy game on PS2.
Good for you. Jeez.
Yeah.
Without cheating, by the way. That was on legit hardware.
No guide either, I bet. That game's
No, I don't think so.
No.
Because it was an early PS2 game, and I had it as an early PS2 game. So yeah, I don't know how the hell I did
wasn't
it.
It might have been a release game.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was launch.
Yeah, love that game.
That one never got off the PS2, did it? I know the sequel did, but that's still locked on there.
It's on PC.
Oh, it is? Oh, it is?
But I don't know if it's the same version or not.
You have to play it on PC. Fun story, because there's an item in the game that is a key item that will fall through the floor if you play it on a PS3 that has reverse capabilities.
What the fuck?
I literally had to buy hardware to play that game on a PS3.
So it
I think
saves locks
Summoner
you?
2's on like the PS5 now, like with their like download games, but I don't know if that bug is part of it.
Hopefully not. But yeah, a key in the castle in Act 2 falls through a table and goes directly to the bottom of the area, and you cannot access it on the PS3.
Is that an anti-piracy thing?
Nope. No.
It's
It's just a detection. It's a hit detection
And they never patched
problem.
it.
And they never patched it on the PS2. Yep.
Jesus.
Spent like a month trying to figure that out, and then I had to get a PS2
PS2.
USB. Yep.
Yeah, PS2, that was before the days of being able to send out massive patches.
But you can get through it on the PS2. It doesn't affect it, right? It's just on that version?
It's just on a PS3. And basically what you do is you just like take your copy and you put it on a back one. Here, I'll even... This is a USB device for PS2. PS1's for a PS3 for memory cards, so you can put it through.
Oh, so you just have to switch systems then?
Yeah, it's like based on the memory card. So
that is weird.
Yep.
Okay,
wild.
I'd
be $40.
I thought about replaying that game actually because it's on Steam, and I've always every thought I think about it again because I remember really liking it.
Yeah, play it on Steam if you can. That's my. Do not play it on a backwards compatible PS3.
No,
that's where I'm at.
I emulate it on my Steam Deck. I've done anything for the record, but I think the version. Maybe I'm not sure the PC version is the exact same game as the PS2. Maybe it's just cleaner. I don't know. But it's on there. Yeah, it's on Steam. I don't know if it's still on Steam. I own it, so I can look at it, but I don't know if they still sell it.
It is on GOG for $5.
Yeah, that's what I bought it for on Steam. You can buy it on Steam still.
Huh.
So yeah, I found out that because of Jeff Cork from Game Informer. Actually, we had a conversation about it when he did an episode for mine, and it came up, and he's like, "It's on Steam," and I was like, "Oh," so then I bought it.
Fantastic game.
Yeah,
weird game.
Add to cart. There we go.
All right, let's go to questions, comments, and memories. So I got a few, actually. First from I watched the entire Orblood Super Replay from Zach Zek. This game has one of my favorite replay episodes, referencing Game Informer, which I didn't even know they did a replay on this.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't watch enough of those, apparently. There was a time when I was really big into them. It was a long, long time ago that I cared. From William Izari, a solid RPG that is held back by the writing. The whole story being we were right behind the fellows who just out of frame is quite funny to me. It gives me the game a very fanfic vibe. Very, very fair. It works, but very, very fair. From Jeff Flynn, so I hate how almost every piece of Lord of the Rings media feels like bad fan fiction. It sucks. Just write something completely new in that world if you really need to commodize it. This game is also bad fan fiction, but good goddamn fun it is fun to play. He wrote it right, I just read wrong. I like this story, actually. I mean, yes, it's odd, but I liked it. I had no complaints. It worked. It worked in the idea that it wasn't trying to be something really that original. It was trying to have you experience the movies without being the movie characters for some reason. From Cameron Solrado, I always wanted to play this since from what I can tell it's just FFX in terms of gameplay. Yeah, it is. Did not know that. It is. Yep. I was really shocked when you said that, by the way, the first time, Kyle. I was like, what?
Yeah, it's a hallway simulator, too.
Yeah, I don't mind that, though. And it has a map, too, just like 10.
It's cool.
It was nice. The only complaint is the save points weren't glowing blue orbs. That would have been nicer. And from Bernard Annelson, honestly, this game is mad underrated. That is very true. From Trent Magnuson, I remember this being a super fun and at times rather difficult experience. Agree that they did a good job of creating an off-screen tale that wraps nicely into the actual story. Right. And then from the official Laser Time community, from Anthony Abate, I love this game. Played it 2-player co-op with a friend, and when you beat the game, you can go back through on Evo mode and play from the villain perspective. Playing as the Balrog is one of my favorite things on New Game Plus. I probably should have did that.
You should. You, wreck the team every time. It's not even a challenge, honestly.
He's the Balrog. He should be super powerful.
Yeah. You can kill every one of those, Evo mode guy or teams in, 2 or 3 turns, basically.
That's cool. I already deleted the game and deleted everything, so. But that's
and you get to use attacks as a Nazgul, and that's kind of rad.
I should have tried the Evo mode. I don't know. I just didn't care.
Just go on to Game FAQs and download a save and just load it up.
Or I'll just watch a YouTube video probably.
Or that. No.
That's about my concern. I'm curious. From Tom J, what a bizarre game. Had this on the OG Xbox, you don't see many brazen clones in particular Final Fantasy games mechanic-wise. Yeah. From Jordan Ching, this game is so much better than it has any right to be. I agree with that. And from the RPG Sanctuary group, damn, I got a lot. I might not read. We'll see. And let's see, from Elijah Gadberry, my favorite Lord of the Rings game. Fair. Terry Sprague, great game. From John Caps, loved it. From Robbie Maxwell, some parts are absolutely brutal, but I love it. You're not fucking wrong. So one part that I forgot about but beat my ass when I'm watching the playthrough was that fucking bridge in Roheim where you kept fighting goblins that just kept coming. And orcs, not goblins. That was annoying. Really irritated me. And from Andrew Pettyjohn, love this game. This is one of those games that if they remastered it, I would buy it so hard. Yeah, that's not going to happen. From Robert Sladen, pretty cool. Never heard of it. Yes, if this was remastered, I'd give it a go. From Dennis Hammack, really good game. Deserves a re-release with HD graphics. Leave the story and music the way it is. We haven't talked about, but the music was actually pretty good in this.
I think the sound quality in almost every Lord of the Rings game is top tier. It's pretty amazing. Even those Battle for Middle-earth RTS games, the sound is incredible.
And in stuff like this, I do think it helps too that they can pull a lot of the stuff from the movies and stuff, like with the Nazgul and the music. I think it's a lot of original stuff, but it feels very in line with the movie score, which is an all-timer. So it sounds great.
Yeah, it just felt
Does
good.
anyone know how much original music they had for this?
No.
Really not sure, because it does just feel like stuff from the movie where I was like, now I'm thinking about it, these were original songs, right? These are not just
find a composer for the game, at least.
Okay.
So
it might not have been very much original stuff then.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if these are just B-sides or something from the movie that I don't
that's
remember
it,
as much.
honestly. Yeah.
But it's
is fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
There's
works,
awesome songs, and they fit
Williams.
kind of an epic RPG tone and stuff. It's really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few more questions or comments. Christian Albito. Memory, when playing it as kids, my brother and I thought we had to lose to the Balrog. got proven wrong very quickly. That's a fair.
Because it happened in the
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah. That happened a lot in games back then too.
Yeah. I'll never forget Mega Man X. The first time I played that with Game Genie, I was like, man, why can't I beat this guy? You're supposed to die. The vial. The game doesn't end if you have Game Genie infinite health on, by the way. It never ends. From Adam MC. Underrated game. I loved it. The mechanics were basic, but a JRPG doesn't need a lot. The monster battle system was fun, and the fact that they actually told a new story inside the realm of Middle Earth is something we need more of. I don't know if I'd go new story. That's kind of stretching it there. That's more like War of the North is a new story, I want to say. From what I remember.
It goes a lot further.
Yeah.
With the idea of original characters aiding the Fellowship than this does.
Yeah, this
game does have a little bit of a vibe of like a local D&D crew is hanging out with the team.
Yeah, very, very much so. Doesn't hurt it, but yes.
I say that endearingly. I like how this game ties in with the movie.
Yeah, I kind of wish you got more stuff like this, because it doesn't really happen that much, and I don't know if it's because people don't like it or what, but it is weird that this party is kind of better than the actual Fellowship, though, battle-wise.
Oh, yeah, Aragorn in the movies does not get nearly as much done as these guys do.
Not even close. That's the only weird part I have about it.
But that's just video game scaling at a point. Like, the guy in the Shadow of Mordor game is like a demigod compared to any... There's no reason he would be a nightmare told through legend for the rest of time in Middle Earth, and like he's not even brought up, you know.
He's like nothing more than a nuisance, if you ask anybody in Mordor.
Yeah, he's completely forgotten about, but he has like teleportation magic and shadow clones.
He's basically Aragorn if he was Batman.
Exactly.
From Christopher Schultz, when you are even lower in Moria and hear Gandalf say, "You fool of a took," echoing through the mind after the armor falls through the well. Yeah, that was fucking great. From Mike Robinson, one of my favorite Lord of the Rings games. Love the turn-based twist compared to all the great Lord of the Rings action titles at the time. Would be a day one purchase if there was an HD remaster, and then maybe we could get an updated Conquest and Battle for Middle Earth. That would be nice. Not going to happen, but it would be nice. I did like Conquest. I know we brought it up briefly earlier, but that game was fine the one time I played it and beat it. I liked it. And from Joshua Packard, I have this game but haven't played it yet. I have heard before that it's like Final Fantasy X. Does it have a spear grid like leveling system? What are the similarities to FFX? I definitely would like to play it. Lord of the Rings are my favorite novels, and I'd like to try out some of this game. This one being at the top of the list. No fear grid, but they do something else differently, so it works. Still got a few more, and I want to thank you. I'm just going to read like a couple more, or two more. From William Thomas, I played this game co-op with my brother, so much like FFS, but it worked so well, especially because we love Lord of the Rings as well. And from Anthony J. Lalo, I only know about this game because there was a period of time growing up where I only owned a GameCube and I was so starved for RPGs and just games in general. Yeah, this is on GameCube, too. That's how I played it.
Yep.
Actually, I was just thinking about that. That's kind of a cool thing about this game, because it's on Xbox and GameCube, which were not as big JRPG centers as like the PS2 was.
No.
Like, they were all on PS2, but those consoles didn't have a lot.
Yeah, if this was one of the 3 RPGs you had as a kid growing up on those systems, like, I bet you got your time out of this game. 100%.
I mean, I bought the few that were for GameCube, but there weren't many. And this is also 2 discs for GameCube, too. For those, I did not know that until I tried to play it and found out. I was like, oh, there's 2 discs. All right, we should give away a code. Let me see what I have here next. All right, your next code will be for Siberia 3. This is your Steam code. It is 330F2 E858RRHDGD. That is your Steam code for Siberia 3. All right. Let's go to Shelf Stacker Box. And Kyle, why don't you take us in?
Boy, I was kind of between Shelf and Stack, but honestly, I think I'm going to put this on the Shelf just because of the original voice acting. Like, if this is a game you have right now and you could get this signed by any voice actor, like, sky high, I bet. This isn't coming out anymore. It's really rare if you have it. So like, that's it for me. And honestly, it's a fun game. Like, it's a good time. Doesn't drag on too much. You can make it work well enough. So like, yeah, I would put this on the shelf, honestly.
And Joe.
Thinking it over, I think I am going to put this on the shelf. Yes, it is for all intents and purposes, a Final Fantasy X clone, but it does it very well. It's fun combat, high production values. Story does get a little fan fiction-y, but they did at least, attempt to tell somewhat of a new story. And I think overall it's a good package that I would recommend to just RPG fans and definitely Lord of the Ring fans.
And Casey.
Yeah, I'd shelve it too. I think it's a really, at a time where we were getting a lot of cool Lord of the Rings games, I think it stands out as one of the more ambitious of them, trying to get the whole trilogy and build it in a JRPG with kind of original systems and stuff like that. I think it's a really neat thing. Like, I've poked some fun at the story and characters and stuff for being a little silly, but it's fun how it ties in and out of the movie. The moment in Moria with the Fool of a Took thing is awesome. Yeah, I like this game a lot.
And I'm going to go next. I'm putting it on the shelf too. I really like this game, actually. It was a fun experience to finally get to play it. And it made me remember how much I like Lord of the Rings. And Adam.
I was torn between stack and shelf, and God, I desperately want to put this on the shelf, but I think I would put it in the stack, just based solely on the fact that it's been out for 20 years. I've only had the urge to play it about 3 times, whereas like a game I put on the shelf, I play, annually or maybe once every 2 years. I got to give the devs credit for trying something new with this. Like they were ballsy putting a Lord of the Rings game as a turn-based RPG, and I think it worked. I kept hearing this is like a fan fiction, a self-insert, whatever. I do think they had issues with the licenses. They were restricted on what they could do. I do find myself wondering if this had blown up and made them tons of money, where they would have gone from here. Like, would they have made brand new stories? Unfortunately, we didn't get that. It's a good game, and I'm sure I'll play it again one day. But it's just gonna go in the stack right now, and I'll find it again when I want it.
Oh, that's completely fair. Each their own. I was honestly surprised how much I enjoyed this game. Right. I'm glad that we all had a good time with it, though. That makes me happy. Because even a stack means you still had a good time.
No, I genuinely did like it. I just think there's much better RPGs out there. This one's actually not a terrible way to start. If you're first starting out with RPGs, this one's pretty bare bones compared to some of the other ones out there. This wouldn't be a bad one to start with.
Yeah, I could see this being a lot, like if you looked at Final Fantasy X and the sphere grid gave you a panic attack, this is probably a lot more approachable for someone who's not, just starting out with menus and stuff like that.
Yeah, this could be definitely a good one for that.
Ooh, boy, can I bring up one more kind of weird connection with this game real quick, too? So, just in case anyone's cares, the studio that made this game was EA Redwood Shores, which ended up becoming Visceral Games, which was the creator of Dead Space.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so you got that
and
for this one. Godfather.
Not their only literary adaptation, because they did Dante's Inferno, too.
Yep.
Still have yet to play that. I want to someday.
And we've seen what some other devs how they can massacre Lord of the Rings properties after Gollum came out. Like, this is nowhere near that level of trash.
Yeah, I was just on the Lego The Hobbit thing. This is a way more positive feeling.
Yes, it was. We were much less irritated.
Mm-hmm. Was just bummed from The Hobbit. This one, I was like, this is a pretty cool game. I'm glad I played it.
Great. I should introduce what we're talking about next week. Next week, you will hear us talk about Sonic Forces. Strange little game, but it's very important to the comics. So that is next week's episode. So check that out. And we should go to plugs. And Kyle, where can people find you at?
Yeah, so I am on the RPG Show, rpgshow.com. We're on Blue Sky as well. We just released a Trails in the Sky First Chapter remake episode. We've got Romancing Saga 2 remake coming up next. And then our fan vote was for the Lunar 1 and 2 remakes, so we'll be working on those as well.
And Casey, did you have anything to plug?
No, nothing.
Okay. Or Adam?
Nope.
Okay. Forgot to ask. Or forgot to remember if I did ask. All right. So I'll do my plugs. We have over 900 other episodes of this podcast. You can find everything we do on Podbean. We do movies, TV, comics, video games, all sorts of content. If you want to hear the rest of our Lord of the Rings stuff, it'll all be in the show notes, so check that out. We have a bunch of episodes now so far. Lord of the Rings went from nothing to a decent amount, so check all that out. If you want to support the show, we have a Patreon. Little Dog vote in our Patreon poll. We have 1 to 2 polls a month. Currently 2 polls when you're hearing this again, so great way to support the show. Just $1. And if you donate $10 or more, I will plug your podcast YouTube every episode I make during that month, and they never go away. Like these lovely people, Phoebe Stanton, the Let's Play Princess on YouTube and Twitch, and check out her podcast, Nerds of Broadcast. And check out absolutely the best podcast of Work in Progress, that's Zach's show. He talks about MC movies. They're currently doing the Alien Predator franchise. So check those out. And also I'm going to give a shout out to Bill Tucker, The Gamer Looks at 40, and his new podcast, Carrying My Cross. So check out both of those. And join our Discord. You'll see a link in the show notes for that. Or is that if you want to be on the show, you want to suggest things for the show, join that, please. It's free. And also want to say, give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro, courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Fury. You can follow her on TikTok and Instagram, so check her out there. It's called she is Hell Has Fury. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, audio only, and rate and reviews wherever you get your podcast. I think that's everything I need to say, so we'll see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Sayonara.
We do not say goodbye. We say namarie.